All right, what's good, y'all? Sahaba, listen, we finna get into the origins of clowns with some research that I did, and I wanted to show y'all. Right, so clowns are in Native American mythologies, plenty of things, bro. But a clown, let's just look at it. I'm trying to see exactly when to make sure. Wait, we're gonna go to origins of. I had a specific article on my phone. I use a little private browser. Y'all should use it too. It's called DuckDuckGo, where you could look up anything and it'll pop up differently than it would on Google because you know the ops. We got a little mukbang too, you feel me? Excuse my smacking. Alright, so look, when you see those clowns with the red lips, that's representing the human sacrifices and the blood and the cannibalism that they ate. They are that Nephilim. That's what the Nephilim look like, especially in the book of Genesis, y'all. Dark history of clowns. Given the recent epidemic of sinister clown sightings across the United States, as well as the fact that whoever this person is recently sat down and watched the 2014 Eli Roth produced movie Clown, I thought I would research the idea why an evil clown is so persuasive in our culture. They're the trickster. This image right here represents the trickster spirit. You know, that person who could talk really fast and they're hyper, but at the same time they're kind of evil and they're manipulating you, but they have this mask on of like the gift of gab. They can say things that can trick your mind and put you in delusion state. So clowns have appeared in most cultures throughout history. The earliest documented clowns go back to ancient Egypt, sometime around 2500 to 2400 BC, which is before Christ. Clowns were also around the ancient Greek and Roman societies. These clowns would eventually evolve into the court jesters of medieval Europe, who would openly mock sex, food, drink, and the monarchy, all while behaving manically for a laugh. These entities, they don't have no morality. They don't have the human compass. There is no right or wrong. They're just evil. They just do whatever they want. So this brings me to this video that I came across. What the Nephilim really look like. So we're gonna get into this video.
Welcome back, everyone. So today I want to talk about something that I actually have been meaning to discuss for a very long time now. And I see that a few people have been talking about this. So now that there is some familiarity with the topic circulating, and I know that some of you have looked into this and have been wanting me to cover the topic, I figure now is a good time to tell you guys what I know about this. And that is that the Nephilim looked like clowns. I know my friend Tony of the Confessionals had a discussion about this, and there is another great channel, Understanding Conspiracy, where there is a more of a deep dive into the subject. Both great channels, and I recommend you go check them out, especially if you want to get a lot more information on this. Now, when I say that the Nephilim looked like clowns, and when you think about the clown archetype throughout history, you can probably already think of all the characteristics and personality.
Because why are their feet like giants, right? Everything is big. That, bro, once you see this, you should not be able to unsee this. Their red lips represent blood of humans, of children.
Traits and say, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Especially if you have a good understanding of the history of clowns. For example, think about this. Do you know what coulrophobia is? Coulrophobia is the fear of clowns. The word coulrophobia is rooted in Greek. Phobia, meaning fear, of course, and kulro is said to come from the word kolobathrates, which means one who walks on stilts. And a person who walks on stilts looks like a giant. Well, that's it.
Right.
I can end the video now, right? I mean, what else do you need to know? No, I'm going to get into this because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you realize the truth, your life is going to change because there is clown imagery everywhere. Plus, we are in the month of October where we are going to be exposed to a lot of clowns, with and without makeup. You know, folks, we are living in the age of revelation. And what I mean by that is we are living in a time when many, many things are going to be revealed. And some of the things that were taught to you and you grew up thinking was true, you're going to find out that some of those things were not true, or at least not the whole truth. So I advise everyone to prepare spiritually for this revelation, because certain documents and ancient texts will be revealed, and certain relics or artifacts will also be revealed. Trust me,
Look at that
I'm not
giant,
clowning around.
I thought it was a game. You think this is a game?
Smart founders know something most people miss. Get your domain name even if you're not ready to launch your business. With Wix, you can grab yours now and then get to work. Here's why it matters. Back in 2019, I had this killer business idea, but I delayed getting the
So folks, you're going to want to go to the channel Understanding Conspiracy, where they go into much greater depth with this topic. If this is your first time hearing about this, I'm just going to touch on a few things here. The main reason is because this is linked or connected to so many different things in the modern world. It's almost like being shown the matrix for what it truly is. We truly have been living in a dream world, a very demonic dream world. And like I said before, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And almost everywhere you go, you will probably more often than not run into imagery and representation that originate from Nephilim clowns. Is this connected to the occult? Yes. Is this connected to secret societies such as the Freemasons? Yes. Is this connected to the circus and carnival? Yes. Is this connected to the Olympics? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Folks, clowns are connected to the circus, and we've all seen what goes on in a circus. Clowns are also connected to a carnival, and we've all seen what goes on at a carnival. Folks, listen to this very carefully. What is the difference between the Olympic Games and a circus? Where do you think the gymnastics, long jump, and vaulting competitions come from? Leaping over or onto obstacles was a popular medieval sport. They used to use horses. They used to use poles, ribbons, and rings surrounded by fireworks. Clowns used to do this. They still do. The same things you would see at a circus, you'll see at the Olympics. By the way, clowns have appeared in the opening and closing ceremonies of some Olympic Games. The Special Olympics, the Paralympics opens with acrobats, clowns, and fireworks, folks. Actually, there is such a thing as the Clown Olympics. Look at the last Olympics opening act everyone was offended by. That mock-up of the Last Supper, right? What was that other than a clown show?
Right.
What do drag queens dress up as?
Clowns.
Why do you think they always want to involve kids in all of these performances I just mentioned?
Taking kids' innocence.
Everything I just said should send chills up your spine. What do a lot of people like to dress up as during Halloween? A lot of people like to wear clown makeup, right? Among other things. But who do people tend to say Halloween is for? Kids. What about Santa Claus and Krampus?
Right.
What do both of those figures tend to look
Look
like?
at the red colors. Look at the red lips. You know what I'm saying? This is the proof right here. Now, for the people who like to think extra, you don't gotta believe me nor this guy. I will always encourage you to do your own research because I'm gonna do my own research every single time. But this right here is what they're trying to have women look like, and then it's like if you don't look like that or have this certain beauty type, this beauty standard that society creates, then you're ugly. But that's just not true. If you get what I'm saying.
What about Krampus? What is Krampus an eater of?
Children,
Kids. Folks, none of it is coincidence.
Not at all.
Think about Pennywise from the movie It, a clown demon that ate children.
There's this thing called adrenochrome. The adrenochrome rituals. What they do is they get little children. They have to put them in the highest state of fear that they can reach, and once they do that, they kill the child and take the child's blood because at its highest peak, it's like the blood gets them high, and that goes back to Pizzagate and these PDF files and all these people who support that agenda. And it was like, for me, if you look at it, it was based underground. Mind you, there's so much child trafficking underground, drug trafficking underground, society, cities underground.
Think Stephen King just made that monster up? Some of the most well-known villains in storytelling and real life are clowns. Pennywise, the Joker, that clown from the Terrifier movies, even that Annabelle doll. You know, the real life one, the Raggedy Ann doll, it looks like a clown. Why do you think the demon likes that doll so much? I'll give you guys something else. What are clowns? Clowns, especially in folklore or at carnivals,
Straight
are performers. They are known figures. Everybody around the world knows what a clown is. And they are often memorable or feared, depending on the context. They are the heroes of old, the men of renown.
And I just want y'all to know, as you grow up, you think certain things are innocent, right? You never will question, what are the origins of clowns? Where did they come from? Bro, these are pagan things. These are ritualistic things. Nothing in our world is a coincidence. It may seem like a joke. It may seem like something not serious because it's been in your face since a child and it was turned into this comedy thing. But it has a dark past behind it, a dark spirit working within it.
Want me to keep going? Okay, I'll give you something else. Big clothing, big gloves, big shoes,
What does that represent?
big red hair.
Yeah.
Now, what other figures in mythology and folklore have big red, wild hair? The red-haired giants, right? Folks, if you look closely at the ancient Native American descriptions of red-haired giants,
And I just showed y'all at the start of the video. The Nephilim, the Native American mythologies, they were dealing with these things as well. They weren't a joke to them. It wasn't like,
they were very tall, white or pale skinned with red hair, and they were cannibalistic. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I was just talking about the Olympics, right? The symbol of the Olympics is that multicolored 5 interlaced rings over a white background. Well, the Freemasons have a 3-ring symbol, as in a 3-ring circus. And the Freemasons also have a multicolored, interlaced 5-pointed star. And when you go look up what those 5 rings of the Olympics mean, and you go look up what those 5 points on the Freemason star mean, you will find the overlapping similarity and symbolism. You guys want more? Okay, I'll give you something else. And this is really going to blow your mind because of how deep this goes.
It goes all the way back
Cultures
to
around the world had trickster figures. They were sacred or semi-sacred performers who could speak uncomfortable truths through humor. In ancient Egypt, they had dwarf jesters that entertained pharaohs and sometimes mocked officials. It was humor as social commentary. Look at all the Egyptian gods. A bunch of clowns wearing masks. They look like clowns in an old-fashioned kind of
Never
way.
thought about that.
Look at this. This is the Egyptian god Bes, the god of mockery and protection. In Native and African traditions, trickster gods such as Coyote, Anansi, and Eshu use laughter and mischief to expose arrogance and restore balance. The Africans had griots, which were West African storytellers. Look at their hats. The Arabic storytellers were the Hakawatis. Look at their hats.
Sometimes trying things on the internet, you really never know what you're going to get. But if you want to guarantee delicious recipes that are delivered right to your door, Hungry Root has you covered. With them, you know.
I know it's gonna be the people. Stop talking while you eat. Listen, you don't gotta watch. Thank you.
Look at the hats of circus shriners. Remember the shrine circus? It's either that hat with a tassel or a top hat. The perfect hat to fit over a big head or an elongated skull, right? Listen, in Greece and Rome, now this is going to freak you out. The Greek god Komos is the god of revelry, which gave rise to the word komodia, the origin of the word comedy. Street performers, philosophers, and satirists like Aristophanes openly mocked politicians and gods. These early humorists or clowns weren't just entertainers, they acted as truth tellers, using jokes to challenge power and taboos. In medieval Europe, the king had a clown jester, and the jester was the only one allowed to roast the king. This holy fool archetype runs straight through to today's stand-up comedy. And even today, comedians are really the only ones who can get away with making fun of people without getting in trouble, right? I mean, there have been instances where people didn't like certain jokes or they were offended, but for the most part, comedians stand up and tell the truth through comedy. Folks, I'll give you one more thing. Speaking of clowns with big heads or elongated skulls, these are cave paintings of the Wandjina. Now, are these aliens or clowns? You tell me, are they aliens or clowns? Look at this. This is Joseph Grimaldi. This is where the more common modern day clown look comes from. But of course, we know that he didn't create the idea, right? completely white face, exaggerated red mouth, dark eyes, and a bald cap. All features that echo the alien gray archetype. Zangaz par de bros Piro. Chalk white skin, black ringed eyes, smooth and emotionless features. Pennywise was a clown from outer space or another dimension, right? How about that movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Remember, we were having these clown sightings almost in the same manner as Bigfoot and alien sightings, right? Speaking of Bigfoot or the wild man, what did Humbaba from the Epic of Gilgamesh look like?
Whoa.
Folks, we could sit here for days talking about the Nephilim clowns of the Bible, folklore and mythology, all the way up to Ronald McDonald. That same dragon-looking, geeked-out face is all over the world in every culture. Always a part of rituals. Needless to say, folks, we live in a clown world. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Check out Understanding Conspiracies channel. I'll leave that link in the description box if you want to watch more videos about this. Please click the thumbs up.
Go check his channel out. I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna like it. It's the first time I'm seeing his content. I really like with the visuals and how he worded everything. But yeah, man, everything in this world has another meaning behind it. So while you're walking around trying to fit in with people, you're trying to fit in with lost people. You're trying to fit in with people who don't even really know what they're doing, you know? So like I said, I showed y'all a little article right here, you know. You could look up the complete history. Basically, it's like histories go back to Egypt, and they were just mockers, like he said, saying rude things within a joke has been going on since the beginning of time. There is nothing new under the sun, but these people, these entities, they originated from a darker place, from a darker aspect. So these things are not of the light. These things are unsafe. Right? So if you don't know, you know now. You feel me? Let me know what y'all think. I would appreciate a like and a comment. You know, if you want to subscribe, I appreciate it. I make music too. I go by Havoc Hills on all platforms. Okay? Yeah, man. I'm out.